He's got a case of Coke Zero. Jeez. Cool. Menthol. I can see. Thank you, my friend. And y'all, my friend. Jacob, may you send my grandpa Rux. Yes, did he pass away, Jake? I'm so sorry if that's the case, and may God bless you and your family. Bill Taylor here on a Tuesday night. Hope you're having a good one. Blessings of peace to you and yours out there. It's a beautiful night. It really does feel good outside. It really does. And as I look here at some presidential trivia, you know, just yesterday was President's Day. I always like to ask, you know, who was the first president born in a hospital? But I think a lot of you have heard me ask that question. I think I've asked it too much. Yeah, so Jacob, you know, blessings to you and your family, bro. Celebrate his life and the blessing it was to all of you. God be with you. But yeah, the question instead, I got a better one, because if you're wondering who the first president was born in a hospital, it was none other than, as we look at today's highs, it was none other than, anybody know? I'll go ahead and I'll lay it out there. Whoever gets tonight's presidential trivia question correct, first correct answer, I will sing the song of their choice here live. Of course, it's got to be a song I know. I mean, I guess I could look it up if I don't know it, but I've got to at least know the melody, right? So, anyone? First president born in a hospital. Highs today. And then you'll get the question I'm looking at right here in the computer, because I had to double check the correct answer. And so I have that now. Highs, look at this. February 17th, right? Yeah, 17th. I almost said 16th. 85 degrees. What? 87's Seguin, Floresville. 88 Pleasanton. 92. I'm surprised that wasn't 93, because I saw the 92. That was the 4 p.m. temperature, right? And I'm thinking, okay, typically if you see an hourly reading, an hourly observation of, like in, you know, 92 degrees, 85 San Antonio, typically the high is going to be 1 degree higher, because you caught a temperature, you know, just a little bit hotter in the half hour or within the hour that you hit that high, right? So when I saw 92 at 4 p.m., I'm like, this is meaning 93, maybe even 94. For a daytime high today, which is just mind-blowing. And it wasn't. It was 92. 91's, Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass, George West, Beeville. Wow. Sea breeze kept Port Lavaca, Bay City in the 70s. Not George Bush. Hey, Myrna. Hi, Cynthia. Good to see you. Brianna, what's up? I saw those pics from the course. I want to get down there. This is good golfing weather. I haven't played in a while. I want to get either, I'm between getting maybe, I want to go look at some new irons. I think I want to get some new irons. I'm not going to buy new. I'm going to buy some used irons. I'm going to go shopping for some new irons, I think. Jason Kurds got it. Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer from Georgia. So now, with that being said, our high today was 85, by the way, 87 Seguin. Here's our presidential trivia question for tonight. No Googling, come on. Honor system, because of course you can Google it and get the answer. I get it. So if you do that, you do that, but you have to live with yourself, okay? Here we go. Who was the first wife of a president of the United States to be referred to as First Lady? I'm coming to you, Luke Whitney. I want you to make sure you hear that, and I don't want you Googling. Who was the first, and this is for you too, Marcus, wife of a United States president to be referred to as the First Lady? That wasn't just, doesn't go back, it was not Martha Washington. She was not the First Lady. They didn't call the wife of the president the First Lady until this president. Lincoln? That's who I thought. I thought it was Mary Todd. It's not Lincoln. But good guess, bro. So, freeze update. Check this out, because I honestly don't think we're going to see a freeze again. It would be a long shot, and if we do, it's going to be a light freeze. I don't see us getting another hard freeze. This La Nina winter, it has been exceptionally warm. So I'm just showing, I'm not saying we're closing the books on freezes, but here's where we are thus far. 8 for the season in San Antonio. Look at the difference in the hill country. Bernie, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Bandera, New Braunfels. 27 freezing nights, mornings. So 15's the average. We're, half of that. And the average last freeze is coming up next week. But I'll tell you this, because the latest freeze in 1987 has been as late as April 3rd, that's what's stopping me from saying for sure. That's why I say, there could be one more. But I don't think there's going to be more than one. Any guesses, guys?
I'm only giving presidents that I like.
Pam, it is not Eleanor Roosevelt. Nope.
JFK?
Laissez-les bon temps rouler. Happy Mardi Gras, Pam. Huh?
JFK?
Not JFK. Nope. And not Eleanor Roosevelt. Earlier. I'll give you that hint. So, with that, and look at that, by the way, back to that freezing climate data. Most freezes in one season, 6-7. 1966, 1967's winter had 43 freezing mornings. That's the record. And we've got 8 this year. That was the year I was born, by the way, 67. Hey, Allison, you got it. I love this. Hey, I love stealing these days from Old Man Winter, right? Same.
I'm going to go Teddy Roosevelt, Bill.
Teddy Roosevelt. No, somebody did say Eleanor. Nope. So I will, I was going to show you the season rankings. Good evening, Paula. Good to see you. 58.1 is the average temp this winter. That's 5th warmest. And then 1.76, 14th driest, which that was lower than I thought. I thought that would have been like a top 10. It really feels like, as bad as this drought has been, that we're top 10. But that's not the case. All right, going to probably see a little bit of fog tomorrow morning, so let me show you what the visibility forecast is looking like. If you're going to get an early start to the Wednesday commute, I want you to be made aware of the fact that we run into a little bit of fog about 7 a.m. That's improved. The visibility forecast earlier had us down to about half a mile. It's a lot less now, but there's a 7 a.m. picture. It really looks like it's confined to I-35, right? Like it's just drawing a line on the I-35 corridor, but be on the lookout, that is, for some patchy fog. Good evening, Paula. Any other guesses? Wife's president, the first president, oh my gosh, okay. The first wife of a U.S. president to be called the First Lady.
Oh, to be called the First Lady?
To be nicknamed the First Lady.
Oh, I thought you said born in an American hospital.
Oh, that was Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
The first president born in a hospital, yeah. So that one I've asked so many times that I just wanted to switch it up tonight, and we did get that correct answer. Mardi Gras, yes. All right, so fog tomorrow morning, and so I'll show you that's, hey Kyler, good to see you. After that morning cloud cover, we get another afternoon sun, 80 to 85, should be a little cooler than yesterday, but not cool necessarily. And you know, we had a weekend system that was looking good for an isolated shower, but even the 20% chance is going to be reduced now. Looks like this system keeps most of its rain to the north of us. So on Saturday the 21st, we've dropped it to a 10% chance of rain now. And that's really unfortunate. It is the only chance. Well, Thursday the 26th, the last Thursday of the month. Agree with Sandra, not ready for summer. Uh-oh, right? When we're hitting these kind of temperatures in winter, you know, summer seems frightening, doesn't it? But I will say this. When we've had our hottest summers, here's what's interesting. I would not be afraid of an extra hot summer because we've had a mild winter. When we've done the climate research on this, what we found to be more of the case is coming off of an extreme is when we've gone into another extreme. So in other words, an extremely cold winter has been followed by the extremely hot summers, in more cases than the mild winter leading to a hot summer. So that's what we've got going for us. La Nina is going to end, and we're expecting an El Nino for the summer. That'll reduce tropical development as well. But most importantly, it probably keeps us steady. I mean, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a hot, you know, we can look at long-range forecasts. We just got to wait and see. All right, the pollen. Oh, Alicia, yeah. It was heavy today, but it came down. But we've been dealing with heavy mountain cedar every day. And today was 670, but that's still heavy. It's just a lower heavy. So notice temperatures, we will get a little cooler, no 30s in the forecast, but a chilly February 24th. That is the date of the last average freeze. Hola. And so 41, and that's, by the way, the coldest we see on this 14-day forecast, 42 on the 27th, but no 30s. That'll be 30s in the hill country. Maybe on Tuesday the 24th, if, you know, if that air gets a little bit colder, maybe they get a light freeze out in the hills. But right now, no freezes in the forecast, and certainly no, I mean, we've got a couple of days of 60s, and that's about it. And we should be in the 60s this time of year. Dylan, what do you think about the neutral transition for spring severe weather? The neutral transition. I'm not familiar, to be honest with you. Are we going to see a freeze? Kyler, no, I don't think so. I mean, definitely not in the next 14 days, but I think personally we might get one more. You know, I've seen good fronts in March, and that's why I say, like, even through mid-March, we could get one more light freeze. Not Madison. Good question, Brianna. I mean, good guess. Does El Nino bring more rain? It can, yeah. But not tropical. La Ninas are dry winters, but El Ninos can be, you know, an average to a little above average. Right? It is. If you like the cold, this is ridiculous winter weather. And so we're starting March on this 14-day forecast, and we're starting in the lower to mid-70s. Dylan, oh, that neutrality. I'm sorry. Okay, absolutely. So it can, you know, typically an El Nino can produce an active spring. So I didn't know that's what you meant, transition of the La Nina to El Nino. Because what's interesting, some of the most active hurricane seasons have been in that neutrality zone, you know, that transition zone, as you put it. And so, yeah, you're correct. It can produce a little bit more of a volatile spring. And we had, relatively speaking, a quieter spring. This past spring was not that active as far as severe weather season. You know, it's usually a season, even though there's no such thing as tornado season. It's not like hurricane season. Tornadoes can happen all year round, and they do. So I never like using the term tornado season. There's just a time of year in the spring where we're more susceptible to an MCS and a tornadic environment. No major snow. No, sir. All right, so the answer is, are we ready? The first lady was none other than Lucy Webb Hayes, the wife of President Rutherford B. Hayes, who served our country from 1877 to 1881. She was the first president's wife to be commonly and regularly referred to as First Lady. While the term appeared occasionally in the mid-19th century, it was popularized by journalists covering her tenure. So there you have it. I love y'all. A little bit of presidential trivia a day after President's Day. Love y'all. God bless you. And we will see you on Ken's 5 News at 10.